So when the next sports scandal breaks, and it will, probably sooner than later, just remember, there are stories out there that don't involve DUIs, NCAA violations, or mistresses. Sports figures are playing it forward every day. The real question is, are you?
Hello, I'm Laney with Superior Custom Homes and Remodeling. We are the #1 builder in Middle Tennessee, specializing in custom homes and remodeling projects of all sizes, and we were honored to receive the National Association of Home Builders Club #1 in Customer Satisfaction Award, and customer satisfaction is always our #1 priority.
Catch 22 here with Calvin Johnson, wide receiver for the Detroit Lions and former Georgia Tech standout. Thank you so much for joining us, Calvin.
No problem.
Now tell us how you got involved with the Pitt camp.
Coach Jackson, not sure Elon could have played any better that half. What adjustments did you cover with your team at halftime?
Crowder and Laney, these two ball clubs have struggled during the year, but this one should be a very close, competitive, hard-fought ball game.
Just like all the games in the Southern Conference are, this is going to be a battle. And what you'll find in the Southern Conference is the teams that are currently sitting in the top and those in the bottom, there's not much difference in the talent level. Here with Coach Matheny, your team won the first half. What's it going to take to win the second?
Well, I was really pleased with the way our bench played. And we had 10 guys play, and we got good production out of almost every single one. So we need the same kind of effort in the second half.
Good luck with that effort. Back to you, Chuck. Let's take a look at what took place the last 20 minutes here at Timmons Arena. Furman started off the game with a great approach. Get it down to Ledford so she can score. They did this twice in a row, and Western was not prepared for it. Now, Western Carolina, exactly what Coach Dixon didn't want to happen. They pushed the tempo, gave it to Feimster. She went up strong. Right here again, this first half, you could just sum it up in Feimster, 10 points.
In other words, we are builders of the 21st century. We want to help you build or remodel your home. Please go to our Contact Us page to sign up for a free consultation or call us today.
Got a unique situation coming up. You've got a roster that's full of rookies just like yourself, and you've got Carson Palmer coming back. So it's going to be a neat year. What are you anticipating happening?
Playoffs and making a run for that championship. When the AFC North is one of the toughest divisions, we can get through that, we'll have a good shot.
Now, last question here. The Johnson boys that play for the Bengals like to change their last name. Will we see that with you at all?
What would it be? Novente Trace? No,
Novente Trace. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Michael, and thank you for watching Catch 22.
Here with Chris Reese, the safety and special teams member of the New Orleans Saints. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, if you're from Georgia, which most of you are watching are from Georgia, you may recognize him from Georgia Tech.
Yep.
However, the rest of the world remembers him from an extremely important and game-altering play that he participated in the most recent Super Bowl. So I know you've replayed this 1,000 times. Let's make it 1,001.
Paladin Profile with Laney Crowder is brought to you by Pepsi Cola.
I'm Laney Crowder, and thank you for joining us for this week's Paladin Profile. I'm sitting here with J.D. Jones, the redshirt sophomore for the Furman Paladins this year, who joins us all the way from Minnesota. Now, I just have to ask, how in the world do you end up in Greenville, South Carolina, Furman University, all the way from Minnesota?
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Laney Crowder. Thank you for joining us for this week's Paladin Profile.
All of a sudden, it's a 6-point deficit here at halftime.
It was a different game. Those last few minutes, it was a different Furman team. They were getting back on defense. They were being patient on offense, and it's definitely paid off for them to have the momentum going into a halftime.
It has become all too common to hear of athletes caught up in scandals, fighting in bars, or on court for that matter. But believe it or not, there are many out there in the sports world using their spheres of influence for good, playing it forward, so to speak, in their respective communities and beyond. Kyle Parker, the current starting quarterback at Clemson University, as well as a recent first-round draft pick for the Colorado Rockies, whose family started Athletes to Champions. In addition to raising $850,000 to turf a former gravel football field in Alaska, for the past 2 summers, Kyle and Athletes to Champions joined with Power Cross in Statesville, North Carolina, put on baseball and football camps for kids who come from unstable family environments in which many have at least one parent who's in prison. The kids got a chance to return the favor by attending and cheering on their hero at a Clemson baseball game this past season. And he put on a show for him, hitting a home run. Pat Summitt, Sylvia Hatchell, Teresa Edwards, and Vince Dooley played it forward, along with Good Morning America host Robin Roberts, by speaking at a fundraising dinner to rebuild the historic Porterdale Memorial Gymnasium that was set on fire in 2005. The dinner was held in honor of Betty James, former Porterdale, Georgia resident and the first executive director of the Women's Basketball Coaches Association. By the way, did I mention that the city of Porterdale has only 1,281 residents? New Orleans Saints' Chris Reese, most well known for recovering the game-altering onside kick in this year's Super Bowl, joined fellow NFL players Calvin Johnson and Michael Johnson, as well as football players from Georgia Tech, to speak to middle and high school athletes about what exactly it takes to accomplish your goals.
Just hard work, passion, desire, dedication. A lot of guys, it's hard to teach those things nowadays. Everybody teaches form and running or weightlifting and certain things but it's the intangibles that really you can't teach. And so I'm hoping to kind of inspire the kids to work harder, to dig deeper, and to just motivate them a little bit more to go for their dreams.
Here's a side note. Did you know that as an All-American wide receiver at Georgia Tech, Calvin Johnson built a prototype for a solar-powered latrine system to help address the sanitation problems in Bolivia? Who knew? So when the next sports scandal breaks, and it will, probably sooner than later, just remember, there are stories out there that don't involve DUIs, NCAA violations, or mistresses. Sports figures are playing it forward every day. The real question is, are you?